1, 2, 3, in the place to be. I'm your host, Adam Mill. To the right, left of me. In the middle is no particular order.
Yes, it cut the governor.
Jam one.
and Bizzle.
All right. We don't own the rights to this clip. I was trying to look for it without having like a reaction, looking up a reaction video. This one is from the Breakfast Club, and this is the Kendrick Lamar um, Chains and Whips verse from the up and coming, highly anticipated Clips album. And this is not to take any points away from the Clips, but you can tell the day and times we're living in when this album is highly anticipated because there's no one doing anything in the summertime in the mainstream audience. And shout out to all my underground rappers, because that's where the real lyricists are at. You know, they're not getting no shine. God made something, said a statement earlier. They need a double XL underground list. You know what I'm saying? I think that the industry should look more towards the lyricists from the underground, rather this trash that we had to endure in the mainstream. So here's, hold on. Well, that's the volume down.
July 11th, but let God sort them out, right? Yesterday, the verse leaked online, and I feel so bad for them.
I can't dig the vibe with I don't with the kumbaya. All that talent must be God's thing. Send your ass back to the cosmic. Let's be clear, hip hop got it here. Half of my prophets may go to rock here. There they show me how to know. It also showed me how to the team on here's the issue. You know, this issue. Hell happened there.
Okay. I know that was difficult to listen to because it was like very distorted, right? But you can go.
Right.
I hope I don't know if you guys went online and looked at the reaction videos for this verse. It's not the whole 16. It's like a little snippet of it, right?
Right.
For what I heard, I don't know. Are we overcritical nowadays of hip hop and lyricism? For what I heard so far, 1 out of 10, 10 being the greatest. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 because the production is a Pharrell beat. I would like to see Kendrick work with more artists. I mean, more beat makers. I'm sure he had worked with Pharrell in the past, but I'm talking about just Pharrell doing this whole project. You get what I'm saying? I would like to see that.
Yeah.
You know, I think Kendrick does his best when he's not rapping over West Coast beats. When he's rapping over boom bap or East Coast type of vibes, even Midwest vibes, he does his, it brings out his best. I think his style is more catered to that. He said, give my half of my proceeds to rock him. I think that was dope. I give it an 8.5, you know. What do you guys think? If y'all heard it, if y'all understood what was just playing, I don't know.
I think it's a dope verse. You know what I mean? I listened to it a couple times. I can't repeat it. I can barely remember what was said. I know he did like a crazy like he did like this repetitive thing with words starting with GEN, like generation. He kind of like did that. I thought it was dope. It was creative. I'm gonna give it a 9 so far. I might go up to a 10 depending on how the rest of the verse sound. You can't really go wrong with Kendrick Lamar. He's hogging up all the spotlight from the rest of us. He's making it hard to be a hip hop artist, and every little thing that he does, it's like it's all about Kendrick right now. And his fans be like getting on my nerves for real.
They're
Like
the worst. They're the worst,
they
bro.
be getting on my nerves for real because he be like, Kendrick be like, the sky is blue. They be like, oh my God.
Did you just hear that? The greatest of all time. what Drake said, I'm not saying it verbatim, but what Drake said when in the battle, he said, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Give him a Grammy right now, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Now, I'm not hating on Kendrick. I love Kendrick Lamar. He's one of my favorites. But golly, the fans, man, his fans be like, I'm like, yo, give him his nuts back. Please, please. He needs them. Right, anyway, that's all I got.
Oh God, what you think, man?
I mean, he technically superior, you know what I mean, when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So that's what the appeal that Kendrick brings. Only thing that I don't get is a lot of times, it's one thing to be great technically, but how great do people really relate? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I think that's what's missing right now. People just aren't able to really get to the heart of the person, to the audience. You know what I mean? Like people are technically great, but they don't it doesn't necessarily move the same way like it used to move before. People used to move based on what they heard. Now it doesn't make you move. We're just saying, yeah, this is great. You know what I mean? But does this really, but it's starting to get to the point where songs don't matter no more because we segmented it so much. You know what I mean? Like say the last decade, right? If you think about the way music is being thought about over the last decade, really, has gone through this process where we've pitted the rappers against the producers. We've even pitted the producers against each other, claiming you're not a real producer, you're just a beat maker. All that talk come in. Now we pitted rappers against each other between the lyricists and the MCs versus the rappers. And you know what I mean? So we do this to the point now that people have stopped making music together. And it's starting to show. We don't hear the same type of vibe, like the same collective, like back in the day, Marvin Gaye, they made the song What's Going On, right? Or a different that they said that they one thing that they made sure to do was to have the people in there with the music on and everything. People that just in there just to bring an energy to the room.
Right.
Now it's gotten to the point that we're all so segmented against each other that we all do this solo. I record by myself, you record by yourself, everybody recording by themselves. You see what I mean? There's no collective vibe. These albums are coming out. Yeah, technically great, but I don't get no feeling from it.
Yeah, I think that's probably because the music industry is so overly saturated. Plus, the music is free, like nobody's paying for it. We don't anticipate anything. Now, we are anticipating the clips, but when the clips drop, we're just going to, you know what I mean? You just pull it up and listen to it. You don't take that trip to the record store and spend your hard-earned money. That meant something. You know what I mean? You go home with an album. That really meant something at a time. People like younger generations, they don't really know what that feel like, man. Like when you be starving to hear from your favorite artist. When you be starving to hear from them, like that don't be happening no more like that.
Do you think guys like us that lived that experience getting up in the cold wintertime, putting on your fatigue jacket and going to get the RZA, I mean the Genius Liquid Swords album, we had a story to tell behind that. Some people met the love of their lives going to the record store. There's always a story behind purchasing an album back in the day. You think that while that element is missing, it affects us too as people who experience that when we listen to albums nowadays. And I say all that because y'all know, everyone on this panel knows, it takes a lot of energy to birth a project. It takes a lot of energy to write down lyrics. It takes a lot of energy to make beats. It even takes energy to listen to beats and find beats. It takes a lot of energy to go through that process for the date that is going to come out and everything. All that for people to listen to it, and some people don't even put it on replay value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, they got to do something to an artist, bro.
Right.
It just comes with the territory, What it is there's going to be some people who like it, some people who love it, and some people who hate it. And that's just what it is. It's the way it's always been. Right. Some people going to be most people, right? They don't care about music until it's important, until they either hear it on the radio, see it on TV, and they can't see it once. They got to see it a bunch of times. Hear other people talking about it. That's when it becomes important to them. People like us in the underground, we just pretty much work for, for the people who enjoy our stuff. That's who we make it for. But we understand that the main, like the average person walking down the street, they don't care. And they never have. They only care when, they're like sheep. They're sheep,
Yeah.
Let's go back to the underground. Let's go back to the underground, Gemma One, and the peers, right? This is just me personally. I don't know if y'all feel this way. Let's say, okay, hopefully I drop my project in July, right?
Mhm.
Us MCs, we're like little children. We want to hear feedback. Oh, that was dope. Oh, you thought it was dope? Tell me how much it was dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give me word for word. You know what I'm saying? What was your favorite song? And then a day or two later, it dies out. No one cares anymore. You spent a year or two on that project. People spent money, hours in the studio. You had to wait for verses to get back. You
That's
know,
just where we are right now. Cause your album come out, right?
mhm.
But it's like 10 other albums that's also out that we trying to listen to. So we gotta shuffle through all of these records. Classic albums, new ones. You know what I mean? Like
That's
stuff that you
crazy.
love listening to. And then you still looking for more and more stuff. It's like when you listen to music, it's like a hunger or a thirst that can't be quenched. You just want more and more and more. It's like a drug. So yeah, sometimes and it's very few people when they get your music, they come back to it more than once. There's few people who do that.
Yeah.
And we just gotta be fine with that.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Connect with them,
Yeah. Yep.
connect with them, and then them like-minded individuals, they will also catch on to the thing. I guess the big thing is, I think the big takeaway, one takeaway I'm taking from this combo right now is the need for persistence. You got to keep pushing it. You know what I mean? Putting it out there.
Yeah.
You just said over and over again that they hear this before it finally becomes something. Like say, imagine,
Mhm.
like we talk about how certain ones become a phenomenon and complain, how come this one is the star right now? It's because they made it past that part of people saying, man, this is trash. They said, all right, well, it's trash to you. You don't got to play it. And they keep on playing it. They'll keep on putting it out there. They'll keep showing up with a brand new outfit, showing up like as if it's the first time. You know what I mean? And they keep doing it to the point that they
Yeah.
get someone, one person in the crowd roll with me. Fine. I'm rolling with them. That other one going to get another one like them. You know what I mean? Now it's two of them. That's the game playing. And I think that's the game to, people that don't make it, don't play.
Real quick, to piggyback on what you were just saying, girl, real quick, come on, brother. Do you think us as artists?
We got to freeze.
The insecure girl in high school where everyone call her pretty, and then you got that one guy or one group of people say, "Ew, you're ugly." How do you deal with that when everybody like, "Yo, you dope, you dope, you dope, you dope"? You know what I'm saying? Or they see the potential, like, "I'm feeling you. I know you dope. I can't wait to the next project. I know it's going. I can't wait to hear it." But then you got that one group of that one person say, "Yo, I ain't liking this. I ain't feeling this. You trash." I mean, is it like a the reason why I say that is because Jammer One, I don't know if you remember, like a few years ago, I was it was on one of your blogs on Facebook. I was arguing back and forth with a dude in the comments, right? Man, we're going back and forth. And I was like, let me hear your music. Let me hear your music. You was
Oh
getting
man, I remember that.
you was getting
I
the
remember
popcorn. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The dude was like, "Oh, y'all sound like a watered down Griselda." And I said, "Man, you sound like you sound like elevator
Digital
music."
planets or
Yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah.
or something like that.
Oh no, his music did sound like elevator music, but
Elevator music, yeah.
I had a strong face, bro. I can tell y'all this now. When I got offline, I was like, "Oh God."
That's true. That is
was
very
crushed. You know what I'm saying?
true.
As artists, man, that I think that's right now. That made me learn something. although I disagree with him, but it humbled me. Reason being, because I want to be the underdog. I want people to look at me and say, I know they're not, I'm not expecting to be nice to these people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting them to think I'm nice. I want to surprise them.
You know, the thing about the artist, the number one thing that they fighting is that inner person, that inner critic that's telling them that, yeah, this don't sound good. This ain't right. This ain't it. You not whoever your favorite, you not him, you not them, you not her. You know what I mean? That's the same thing that's in their mind anyway. So as soon as you hear that critic that comes out there saying the same thing that your inner critic saying, that's why the instant like, oh yeah, that's right. You got me. That's why. And that's one of the things. And you know what I mean? And it happens to everybody. It has to happen at some point. You gotta go through that. Because you know what I mean? Think about this. If you played any type of sports or if you did anything physical, right? It's one thing to practice, but it's another thing when you're playing and you actually get hit and you're hurt and you still have to play. You see what I mean? Like you can physically play, you gotta get up and go through the pain. You know what I mean? And then you feel like playing anymore. It's a different thing like that. See, when it comes to this being an artist making music, you're dealing with emotions. So how do you respond when your emotions is hurt? Your feelings just got hurt. What is your response? You know what I mean? Imagine being LL and remember when LL and Kumo D back in the day, they was going back and forth. Kumo D eventually loses that, right? Think about what that's like going through. That didn't happen privately. That was a public battle that he lost. You see what I mean?
To the record labels and stuff like that. He took it. He took his ass whooping with pride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm saying, the inner artist. I'm talking like the inner person, that artist.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That doubt, you finally hear it. Like that's why I use the analogy of high school girl. Everyone says she's pretty in middle school, and then when she get to high school, she realizes it's a different ball game, there's more competition. But she still get the comments, and there's that one cruel guy to come past and say, "Damn, you ugly." You know what I'm saying? You got too much makeup on, and then before she left the house, she figured she had too much makeup on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely right. You go through that. It seemed like as an artist though, you build up after a certain amount of time, you build up a certain kind of resistance or thick skin.
That's true.
Shoot, when people say negative things about me, man, I get amped up. It inspired me. I used to get in my feelings a little bit. Now I don't even really care anymore because I know it's not for them, you know? And then sometimes people you get some people who might get upset with you for something that you said on social media, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, your music is whack." I don't even when that happens, I don't even listen to that. I know you really think that my music is good, and you just trying to hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? Like, like that's what people do though. Like they'll get mad at you and then try to like come for your music or your art or whatever.
Right.
Like that's supposed to mean something. No, I know that you actually are a fan and you trying to hurt my feelings, which you're not. I just understand the game and I know what you're trying to do. Because that's a big part of it too. Like you got people who really like you, but you might say or do something that they don't like, and now they want to come for you because they got a little bit of hate and they a little bit jealousy.
Right.
You got that thing too. That's what was going on with you and that guy when y'all was going back and forth.
Yeah. But on Joe's side, his music. Okay, yeah, I was really sincere and I really wanted to hear something. I said, okay, this man.
Hold on, he froze. We freeze.
Hey, sir, what the hell are you? And yeah, and I was like, it sounded like elevator music. I said, man, I could use your music to put my grandkids to sleep. I'm dead serious, man. I'm dead serious.
I remember that.
I was not trying to be funny. I could actually, I said he can make a lot of money in the daycares. Man, he pitched that. He pitched that to like the daycares and stuff like that. He gonna make a lot of money, man. Slide to the right, slide to the left, two highs, two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, have y'all ever somebody listen to your music and they say, and it's finished to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, "Yeah, that's dope, man. Let me know when the finished product."
Oh yeah, all the time, all the time. Hey, look, my biggest regret in life is never getting my earlier projects properly mixed and mastered. That's my biggest regret.
Mm.
I used to get that all the time. I don't. The mixes are bad. Like they used to always say my mixes were bad, and they were. They were. That's like the songs are dope, but the mixes are bad. And I used to be like,
Now,
Oh.
what possessed you to want to mix and master it yourself? Why didn't you just take it out, take it to like some type of studio or whatever, and get it professionally mixed and mastered?
I was dumb and cheap. I didn't want to spend the money. I had the money. I just didn't want to spend the money to get it done. Stupid.
Yeah, we
You know?
live and learn, man.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this: have y'all ever ever had a feeling where you like, damn, I know when my stuff get mixed and mastered, it's gonna sound like hearing Nas or Jay-Z. And when you finally get it mixed and mastered, you like, it sounds better than what I'm normally hearing, but it's not that magical pop in my ear, like listening to my favorite artist. Had that ever happened to you guys before?
Yeah, that still happened. That still happens to this day. That's because, they got like state of the art equipment and they got people who went to school and they've been mixing and mastering for 30 and 40 years. You know what I mean? They be having that.
Crafting and put together. Yeah, they know the formulas. They know what works, how it works, what combinations to put together in place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they be having the dudes who like for real, like engineering is their craft. You know
Right.
what I mean? They be having that.
And the specialties of that, you know what I mean? Like there's ones that say, no, I specialize on drums. No, I specialize on synths. You know what I mean? So they got
Yeah.
that level. No, I just do vocals and then I send it over to so and so. So this is the way it works. And these are the way that they do the. So when you get that finished product, it's very polished and very good. You know what I mean? That's why the one thing when you hear the industry, all this music in the industry, you listen to that sound quality, it's top flight right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like like the instrumentation and all of that, the level that things are at right now in 2025 is top flight. You know what I mean? These engineers, producers, they doing it.
But now you have programs and stuff that you can get on programs online.
Yeah, that stuff is trained off of these people though. That's trained off of their work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can get sound similarly close.
Yeah.
Me personally, the best engineer I ever worked with was Jono. Me personally, where I listened to my stuff and I was like, "Yo,
You can hear it.
it's nice." You know what I'm saying? It's nice. But when you listen, like, real quick before we go to the next segue to the next topic. Now when you listen to albums like King's Disease and stuff like that, it's like you said, once you buy these programs offline from these people, like you said, Gov, the sound doesn't sound too different. It's like when I listen to like mainstream artists, it's not that far gap as it used to be when you're mixing and mastering your stuff. It's not that far gap.
They're not going through the same process. They're not going through. So that's what I heard. I can't remember his name, but I heard one of the prominent mixing engineers, one of his interviews. And he was talking about how the labels are now going through this process where they're skipping them out and they're just doing it in-house or they just finding AI solutions. So now I think that we 10 minutes.
There's a mute. Did I freeze?
No.
Okay.
It's AI. People are choosing a lot of AI solutions instead of the real live human engineers or whatever like that. And I think that's taking a toll too.
I think I seen something earlier where I was watching this YouTube channel and they were saying the AI now for $200 or whatever, they not only write your verse for you, but they can have it to where you can just say cat, hat, dog, cat, bark, and they were manipulated to you on beat. It's clear and it sounds professional. All for $200.
Yeah.
Starting at 200 or more.
Yeah.
And they said that this is a hindrance. This is another black eye for the music industry because your grandmother can get on there and pay. You can your grandmother can make a classical album now by just paying the money, and the AI do everything for her.
Possibly.
Mm.
Yep. So,
Um,
all right. This is Guess I'll Say It. So
what's up?
let's this is the Guess I'll Say It segment where we talk about what is it again, Jammer One?
What, the
What's
unpopular opinions?
the unpopular opinions.
Yes, unpopular opinion. I thought that was supposed to be the third. We doing the third one, a third topic today.
Yeah. Let's segue into that. But who has the topic?
The unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Who
know
has
y'all
it, man?
Good.
I know y'all have unpopular opinions.
No, I know you had one. I know you did.
All right, I have an unpopular opinion. I don't think that Donald Trump is the boogeyman that a lot of people makes him out to be. That's my unpopular opinion. Um, yeah, because honestly, as a president, the president is just the person in the front. You know what I mean? And behind him, you got like people, even in other countries, that are actually in control of the world. Like the president is not the leader of the real of the free world. Honestly, you know what I mean? And you can't just do what you want. So when people be like, he's gonna put us in concentration camps, and he's Hister. I have to say Hister because we going on YouTube.
Yeah. They're flagging.
Yeah.
Hipster.
Hister.
Hold that thought. We're going to be back with a third segment on the unpopular opinion, and let's get into that. All right, peace.
All right.
No.
Share.